Okay, what we're looking at in this exercise is extending what we've learned previously on turnarounds. A turnaround, as we're aware, is a way to turn around from the end of the progression and get back to the start again. We've got this sequence that cycles around. We get to the end, we turn around, we go back again. So, as we learned too in the last video, the turnaround is based on this idea of the perfect cadence that moves from here to there, via this movement of the flat 7 to the major third in the 1 chord. Now, if that is the case, if we're able to move from there to there, and there's a mechanism for that, then there must also be a mechanism to move toward there from the chord the same distance away. Okay, it doesn't only work from the D to the G, it also works from the A to the D. And likewise, from the E to the A to the D to the G. So we end up that we have this sequence of cadences, if you like, that's not only from there to there, but from here to here to here. Right, that one there is the 2 chord, the same as that note there. From here to here to here, and from here to here to here to here. Right? Now that one, that's the 5 in that note, which is there, which is why we can go from here to here to here to here. If you want to do some more research on that, you need to Google cycle of fifths or cycle of fourths. It's the same thing, you're just going in a different direction. And you can learn some more about that, but for now all we need to know is that it's this idea that we can move this particular distance and it feels like we're moving around in circles. So, and that's what this feels like. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. Now that sort of works like a turnaround. Yeah, let's have a look. Okay, now what we did then was start on the 1, then went to the 6, then went to the 2, then went to the 5. Let's have another look at that. Last 4 bars. 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. Yeah? And here you can hear how that works as a turnaround. Now, but it's not very playable. It's sort of ugly, really, compared to what we've been doing, certainly. So we need to figure out how we can make that usable. What I want you to do is figure out the arpeggios for the E chord and the A chord. We've already in previous lessons looked at the arpeggios from the D and the G. Now remember, the arpeggio is the first note in the chord, the 3rd note, the 5th note, and the 7th note. Flat 7. So in D, it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 1. Now, there's a number of ways you can figure this out. You can do it by ear, just go, it starts there, what's the next one? That's it there. And then continue to work around and find the arpeggio. You can look at the distances between the notes. Go back to your old, the old lesson on this, on arpeggios, and look at how the distances worked. So from the 1st to the 3rd one was 1 to 4. 3rd to the 5th one was 3 semitones. 5th to the 7th one was 3 semitones. 7th to the 1st one was 2 semitones. So that's 4 semitones plus 3 plus 3 plus 1. If you do that same sequence from here, you get there plus 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, which is also there, plus 3 is there, etc. So what I want you to do is hit stop, find the arpeggios for that E note, and do the same thing with that A. Okay? And when you come back, I'll have them ready for you to see how you went. Okay, you're back? Right, here they are. E, G sharp, B, D, and E. That's assuming you're tuned to the key of G. You're tuned to G. Right? 1, 3, 5, 7, 1. Down here on the 2 chord we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 1. Whoops. 1, 3, 5, 7, 1. Okay, now the next thing I want you to do is to find the 5th note of each of those, the E and the D, and alter them. Remember we talked about alterations, how you sharpen the 5 or flatten the 5? I want you to do that. Okay. So for the A and for the D, get the 5th note, 1, 3, 5, and figure out which note is sharp and which note is flat, and then come back. Okay, you got it? Now for the E, hopefully you went 1, 3, 5 and decided that the flat note was that one and the sharp 5 was that one. Okay, now that one is also that one. And that one is also that one. Yeah, now that's the 4, that's the flat 3. I'm not going to go through all of them. They're in your notes, they're in your table, right? I could do a very boring, this is that, that's this is that, which you wouldn't follow. You're better off just to go to your notes. But what happens in the end, once you've done all that, is you come up with a whole stack of notes that you can use, more notes that you can now use on this progression. 1, 6, 2, 5, that are from your blues scale. Right? So let's have a look at one example, and then you've got others written in your notes, right? So we go D, C, 5, 4. Then just a blues riff on the G. Now the 6, we've got there, and the 2 is the 5 chord, and then the 5 there. So it's let's do that a little bit quicker. So that was a lot more interesting, wasn't it? Maybe not useful in a lot of situations, but it did stuff, right? Let's see if we can find another one. There's the 1, the 2, 6 I should say, 1. Yeah? Again, so this note here now is one of the notes in the A chord, the flat 5, that we can use chromatically to get back to the 5. Now there's a whole stack of examples of that. I want you to find out, see if you can find the arpeggios for those notes like we just did then, and for those other scales, like those other chords like we just did then. I want you to find the particular blues scale notes that you can use on those chords like that are in the table, and then construct some turnarounds the same way that I've done here and written in your notes. And I want you to come up with some of your own and learn to play them and show them to the world. Cheers.